All right, folks, welcome back to Dispatch Radio, brought to you by theglobaldispatch.com, and we get to touch base with another of the great CW shows I love so much, Hart of Dixie. It's in the middle of season 4, actually probably close to the end of season 4. Bill will have to give us some details, and I think there's only 10 episodes this season, but Hart of Dixie's in season 4. It's Fridays at 8 p.m. That's on the CW, and we have an actor on with us. He's been with the show. His name's Bill Parks. We're going to talk about a show. You know what, Bill, I love the fact that your character's named Chicken. And I don't know about you, but when you talk about acting and you're going into things, one of your popular roles is Chicken. How do the parents feel about that? You know, my son, what's he do? Well, he plays chicken.
I'm sure they're so proud.
They gotta be. So here we are, season 4. Please confirm for me. I got my facts right here. It's a pretty short season, right? It's only like 10 episodes?
Only 10 episodes.
So we're getting close to the end.
Yep. About four episodes left, I think.
All right, we gotta touch base here, folks. Make sure you're tuning in. Get Hart of Dixie, because I don't think they've been renewed yet for a season 5, and I'm sure the network here is trying to piece together some puzzles and that kind of thing, decide what they're going to do. But Bill, how is season 4 coming along for Chicken and the show and that kind of thing? And to everybody a little bit insight on what it's been like.
It's been amazing. Really fun shooting the show. Chicken is a fun character to play. I've got a couple brothers on the show, Rudy and Rocket, and we're always getting into different shenanigans and different adventures, causing trouble in the town.
See, I knew I'd get along with Bill because right out of the gate he uses my favorite word, and that is shenanigans. So long before it was ever popular, I was using the word. I have a shirt. It just says shenanigans. I don't know why I'm not mass producing those, but I need to. But Rudy, Rocket, and Chicken and Hart of Dixie is a great show. It's been on for a while now, and Rachel Bilson plays Zoe, who's this doctor who doesn't kind of cut the big time, has to go to Alabama, and ends up in a lot of love triangles, a lot of fun antics, and that kind of thing. Tell everybody a little bit about. They haven't ever watched the show. They tune in. How does Chicken fit into all of this for them?
Well, Chicken lives on the outskirts of town in a shack with his brothers, and but they come into town. They go into the Rammer Jammer, which is the bar, and they're always messing things up, causing trouble, wreaking havoc, which adds a little bit of chaos to the quiet town of Bluebell.
Is it easy to play Chicken, or is Bill? Yeah, he's got to kind of step into being Chicken.
I'd say I've got to step into it. I like to consider myself a little bit more sophisticated than the redneck chicken truant.
Who lives in a shack on the outskirts of town? Yeah, we know Bill's a little bit more advanced at Chicken, but so how do you prepare? How has Chicken changed? And more importantly, really, how has Chicken changed Bill Parks as an actor?
Well, I guess it's made me a little bit more diverse. I haven't played a role quite like him yet, so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to play him. Do
you get any sort of insight or input in the into the script to bring Chicken sort of to life and more personal, or is it just kind of like he is his own little character and you just kind of step in and out of him?
Well, we do a lot of improv at the ends of takes and stuff like that. So it's we do get to add stuff to the character, and every once in a while the editors will let some of our lines into the episodes.
I know we're headed near the end of season 4, and you probably really can't say too much. Is there really been any moments coming out of season 2, season 3, or even the earlier part of season 4 that you're hopeful that they will at least address with Chicken, or a little storyline that really has kind of gone either unresolved or possibly forgotten?
Well, I mean, hopefully if we do get a season 5, they'll keep him around. We do some more musical numbers, and we end up going to a bigger city. I'm not sure how much of this I'm allowed to say, but we end up going to a bigger city to pursue our musical endeavors. So we may or may not come back to Bluebell if Bluebell comes back to CW.
Fantastic. And folks, I don't think that spoils a whole lot for you. If you're not watching the show, you're probably like, I don't even know what's going on right now. Brandon's talking about chicken with some guy named Bill, and yeah, it really is a fun show, folks. You need to check it out on the CW. It's called Hart of Dixie. It's on Fridays at 8 p.m. And Bill plays one of the crazier characters on the show. And as he says, so eloquently, might I say, lives in a shack on the outskirts, wreaking havoc and chaos. That's just fantastic. So, Bill, you've got, a resume of some other work, some things that you've done, and I want to get to one in particular at the end. That's one of my favorite shows. But talk about, working, like on the OC and Bones and different shows like that. Has there been some different moments or words of encouragement that people have kind of helped you along the way to get you through your career?
Well, I like a quote that says, success is moving from failure to failure with great enthusiasm. I believe it was Winston Churchill that said that, but don't quote me on that. Because with acting, you're lucky to book 5% of the things that you go out for, so you face a lot of rejection. So you just have to keep moving on, and hopefully you'll get the next one.
Is there one in particular that went on to be like some sort of really cool role or show that you could share with, going, man, I didn't get that job, but I tried?
Yeah, recently I was up for the role of the guy in the wheelchair in American Sniper. It was a scene with Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
And that would have been nice, but it went to a guy who was a little bit heavier set than me, so that might have had a little something to do with it.
Maybe.
It's
a great film. What a great film. Really was.
Yeah.
All right, you're on a show, and it's wrapping up. And just any insight, because we just love talking to folks about the show. I think Justified is possibly one of the best shows ever, because it's relatively simplistic in nature, yet it's just so incredibly deep and engaging. And it's kind of sad to see it end, but obviously it's still good. So let's wrap it up while it's good. Tell everybody a little bit. You got to be on the show, what you were able to do on the show, and what your experiences were like.
It was fantastic being on that show. I played Eddie, the pizza guy who delivers the pizza, and then he gets held hostage by Desmond Harrington, and I end up getting shot in the head, unfortunately.
Yeah, Bill's not coming back to Justified, for those of you that are not quite understanding what we're talking about. But it's an incredible set, incredible people to working with. I mean, that's what we hear, and every single person talks about it. Was your experience kind of like that, even though it's kind of a small role?
Yeah, it was wonderful. Everybody was great. Had a great time working on it. Lots of fun, and it's unfortunate that I got axed, but, it happens.
Bill has a lot of really cool hobbies as well, and, I guess we could kind of plug the fact that he must be pretty good at poker, because he did pretty well in the Celebrity Poker Tour, but, he's also into hiking, and, I think it's pretty cool. Rescued pit bulls, Peanut and Kenny. So that's kind of cool, man. You're a big dog lover and doing that kind of stuff?
Love dogs. Peanut and Kenny Powers, they came straight out of Compton. They were rescued by a now acquaintance friend of mine, and she dropped them off at my house and said, hey, can you just watch them for a few days? And 4 years later, I still have them.
That's awesome. That's great. My wife is just an animal nut. I can't trust her with anything. And you might relate to this, playing someone as wacky as chicken. Yeah, it's friends at church, and they found a squirrel. Next thing I know, my wife's got a squirrel in her hands. I'm like, what are you going to do with a squirrel? And she knows, she finds a rescue in the whole 9 yards. I mean, you animal people. I mean, I love animals, but some of you guys that do that kind of stuff, you got a bigger heart than I could drive. You got a heart so big I could drive through it. It's incredible. So the other made a little note for me, and I circled it. They don't even know I'm going to go down this road, but you had a Pepsi commercial when you were a teenager. What kind of Pepsi commercial did you had?
That was a really fun one. We shot that in Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, on a roller coaster. I think the roller coaster was called the Alpengeist, and there was 4 of us were on the roller coaster, and the main guy, he manages to get through the whole roller coaster without spilling his Pepsi, and then at the end the girl comes up to him and says, do you have the time? He looks at his watch, and as he turns his hand over to look at the watch, he spills the Pepsi all over him.
Fantastic. I'm going to find this commercial. I'm going to put people on it. We're going to find a copy of Bill's commercial. We're going to see chicken.
It was lots of fun because I got paid to ride a roller coaster for an entire weekend.
So basically, Bill doesn't really have a career exactly. He just gets paid to do these crazy and insane things where he's delivering pizza and living in a shack, playing a banjo. Which, by the way, playing a banjo is actually very difficult. So the fact that how much of it did you know going into that role, and how much have you learned since then?
Um, I've gotten a little bit better on the banjo. It's forced me to practice a little bit more. But I did start playing when I was younger, so I've been playing for years, and it is a lot of fun.
That's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. So he gets to do all these crazy things, riding roller coasters. He was in a Snickers commercial, Skechers commercial. I'm not sure Bill's really taking this as serious as I want him to, but as he says, he's quoting Winston Churchill. He's on the right track. So it is a great show, folks. You definitely need to check it out. Heart of Dixie. You want to get out and support it if you can. Catch up. There's tons of on demand, and I'm almost positive it's on Netflix. So if you're behind, you can definitely catch up. Fridays at 8 p.m. We want to kind of plug this, get this out there. Season 4's coming to a close. We want to see if season 5 get renewed and see more of Chicken and the gang and different antics for Zoe. So it's definitely a good show. I definitely enjoyed it and really have enjoyed talking to Bill Parks. Thank you, Bill, so much for fitting this into your schedule.
Hey, thanks, Brandon. Great talking with you.